Angry over the supposed death of his friend, Shin confidently replied that Sun was foolish to think his friend could die and stepped back, declaring that no one truly understood Sakamoto's strength as a warrior. Sun scoffed, dismissing Shin as a child. Meanwhile, B moved stealthily toward Lu from behind, aiming to strike her with his sword before he could land the blow. Sakamoto arrived in time, delivering a devastating punch to B's face. The force sent B crashing into the ground, splitting the floor and causing him to fall to the lower level. Sun, watching, casually commented on Sakamoto's impressive punch, and B replied that the building was old and easy to damage. Turning his attention to Lu, Sun addressed her mockingly, asking if she would hand over the key, promising to kill her gently afterward. Lu stood her ground firmly, stating that the key was her only inheritance from her father and that she would never part with it. Sun dismissed her words as outdated, questioning why she would risk her life for something as insignificant as a key. Lu, enraged, yelled at Sun to be quiet and charged at him in anger. Before she could reach him, Sakamoto intercepted her and threw her back to prevent her from acting recklessly. Furious at being stopped, Lu glared at Sakamoto, but Shin interjected, advising her not to let their words provoke her into losing control. Lu turned to Shin and explained that the vault the key unlocked contained all her ancestors' possessions. She shared that her father had died protecting it and had been killed by these same fools. As she spoke, Sun suddenly hurled a knife at her, but Sakamoto caught it mid-air, saving her just in time. Sun glared at Sakamoto, warning him not to interfere and suggesting he should have let the knife strike Lu, allowing her to reunite with her parents in death. Sakamoto, unfazed, replied firmly that no one there could give him orders. Lu turned to Sakamoto and asked why he wanted to help her. At that moment, Sakamoto's mind drifted to a memory of his past. He recalled returning home to his wife after purchasing a gift for her. When he arrived, his wife asked why he was late. Sakamoto explained that he had been working. Suspecting the truth, she pressed him, asking if it was his usual line of work killing. He admitted that he had to complete the job so he could buy her the gift. His wife refused the present, saying it was tainted with blood just like his face. She told him there was no point in continuing their relationship and that they should part ways. Overwhelmed, she stepped off the edge of the building. Sakamoto, horrified, he caught her midair and they embraced as they fell together, emerging from the icy sphere. His wife admitted she had misjudged the height from the building to the ground. She approached Sakamoto, telling him that someday he might lose her and understand the pain of such a loss. She reminded him that everyone has someone they love and don't want to lose. She asked him to promise her he would stop fighting and focus instead on helping others. The memory faded and Sakamoto returned to the present. Shin, deeply moved by the story, looked at Sakamoto with sadness. Sakamoto then turned to Shin and firmly stated, "That's my rule, I don't kill the two brothers." Sun and Baola launched a coordinated attack on Sakamoto and Shin Bat aimed several strikes at Sakamoto, but none of them landed. Sun followed up by attacking Sakamoto with his weapon, but Sakamoto skillfully blocked all his blows. Meanwhile, Bato turned his attention to Shin, attempting to land a hit, but Shin evaded him. Shin tried to counter with a kick, but it was ineffective. On the other side, Sun threw a barrage of knives at Sakamoto, but Sakamoto dodged every single one. Frustrated, Sun hurled another set of knives, but this time Sakamoto the midair with ease. The brothers regrouped and Sun asked B if he was thinking what he was. Batao confirmed with a smirk. They launched a flurry of rapid synchronized strikes at Sakamoto, but their efforts were in vain as Sakamoto avoided all their attacks. Without taking a scratch, Shin approached Sakamoto to check on him, asking if he was okay. Sakamoto reassured him that he was fine, though his muscles felt a bit stiff. Sun, frustrated and confused, asked B how Sakamoto was able to evade all their attacks without even a scratch once again. Then Sun asked B if he was thinking what he was. B confirmed and they attempted another attack on Sakamoto. This time Sakamoto delivered a powerful blow to B's head. Enraged, Sun attacked Sakamoto, but Sakamoto broke his weapon with ease, leaving Sun in disbelief. Realizing he couldn't win, Sun decided to capture L and escape. However, Shin, who could read Sun's thoughts, intercepted his plan. Shin threw a rope around Sun's neck and yanked him to the ground. Sakamoto then dropped a large refrigerator onto Sun, incapacitating him completely. Lu, stunned by what she had witnessed, asked, "Who are you really?" Sakamoto, calm and composed, simply replied, "We're just shop workers," as he casually ate a piece of crab. The scene, he struck the vault, frustrated at his shifted to Dan, fuming in his office as inability to open it and claim its Contents moments later, Bao and Sun were brought in bound and defeated. Dan, startled, demanded to know who they were of. Before he could react further, Lu appeared behind him holding a knife to his neck. Dan immediately panicked and begged her for mercy, promising to told Dan to shut up, reminding him that nothing he could do would bring her father back. With one final blow she would ever she wanted. Lu, her voice cold, knocked him to the ground. Shin, observing, asked if she was satisfied and joked that he wouldn't mind adding a few punches himself. Sakamoto, imagining himself silencing Shin permanently, smirked in his mind. Shin noticed and, irritated, told Sakamoto to stop doing that. Sakamoto replied firmly that Shin should stay out of it. Lu, catching her breath, recalled her father's advice not to kill people in the streets even when they angered her and to focus on living a happy life. She then turned her attention to the vault. As she opened it, everyone was stunned by the treasure inside. Lu, however, stopped them from entering before her. Shin entered and picked up a book, immediately engrossed in reading it. Meanwhile, Sakamoto sifted through the jewels. Lu grabbed the book from Shin's hands, wondering what her father had left her. She then noticed a letter hanging inside a small container and opened it, reading her father's words. Curious, Shin asked what the letter said. Lu replied that her father had written about the best drink ever and how grateful he was for it. Shin chuckled and wished it was as good as her father claimed. They all sat down on the floor, enjoying a meal of pork together. Lu commented on how everything had been completely shattered because of the events leading up to this moment. Shin teased her, saying it was all her fault. Sakamoto, tasting